I'm talking like vintage. I'm not talking like more recent, because I do collect some of the more recent stuff from artists that I like today, or and there's some art, people that I've been able to chat with online that do have become friends that have done little golden books and other cool books too. So, but it is, and what I appreciate about it is a couple of things, like this act of creating, this act of drawing and illustration is actually more ancient. Graphic design is relatively new, and that's something that I do, but it's relatively new. I mean, you really start seeing it in the 20th century. There was always, especially when advertising and marketing started getting built up in the
Yeah.
late 1800s and 1900s, then created this industry that needed visuals around it. But the act of drawing, the act of illustration is much more ancient, than, and so there's something about this tie to the past that these artists, and you read about like the guy that illustrated the Little Red Hen, Little Golden Book that we all probably
Yeah.
know. His name is J.P. Miller. He was prolific, probably one of the most. He illustrated over 20 books, I think, or 18 to 20 Little Golden Books, and then many other. But he didn't think of himself as a big, like he was like this amazing illustrator. It was all like, yeah, he's a children's book illustrator, and you're like, are you kidding me? This guy is like one of the most prolific children's books illustrators of the 20th century. So it allows me to feel like this connection to, like, especially now that I've, one of many the people that have illustrated Little Golden Books, it feels like I'm part of this, like, historic, illustrators. Not that I feel like I'm fully worthy of all of it, but you I look at how they render shapes and how they illustrate a bunch of different things, from buildings to vehicles to like
Yeah.
foliage to everything else. And it's like they've simplified it down to its like purest form often. And so, one, like I learn a lot by just studying it. And then you see like, oh, these people did multiple books and they're not all winners, you know?
Yeah.
Like, not all of these books in the history of Little Golden Books or any of like their cousins or whatever else, not all of them are winners. So it encourages and inspires me, and
Yeah.
all at the same time. And it's so much better for me to like pick a book that's 50, 60, 70 years ago and seeing like a technique. So much better to have that in my house and like flip through. It's like, oh, I remember how the Holly Pratt and Norm McGarry